There are things that you'll use sometimes during the course of the year. So please, especially for coastal communities, begin to gather those supplies today and have that kit complete by tomorrow. Later on this morning, I think around 10 o'clock, the folks in Currituck and Dare County are going to begin their local decision making. That's how we work. This is a local decision about evacuations. And they will communicate with us later today, and they perhaps won't make their final decisions until tomorrow. But all of us need to be very cognizant of the fact that these predictor models are not absolutely perfect even on Friday, and we need to prepare for the worst. Again, we know at this point in time, Hurricane Irene is a big storm. 115-mile-an-hour wind is a big wind. And there is some cause to believe that for much of the coast, we won't see those kind of winds. We'll see more like tropical storm winds, which we are used to experiencing. But again, for Hyde County, for Currituck County, and for Dare County, we wish them well and hope that the folks there will take this very seriously, because it could be a very serious storm. But then on the other side of the coin, it's never over till it's over, but when it's over, it's over. And so by Saturday night, we'll know what's happening. By Sunday afternoon, the storm will surely have passed off of our coast. And by late Sunday or Monday morning, North Carolina, with any good luck, will be open and ready for tourism again. So as you go into Labor Day weekend, remember that this is going to be a weekend event. Friday night at the earliest, we think, Saturday and Sunday morning, and then she'll blow on up the coast, where we will partner with Virginia to make sure that we have joint plans on evacuation from those areas, if indeed it's a time to evacuate. And then we'll open for business again. That's what we do so well in North Carolina during the summer tourism season. Thank you all for covering this. Get your evacuation kit ready. Get your medicines ready. Take your insurance documents and have a plan to get out if you have to. Treat this seriously, but then pray real hard that North Carolina will be fine. And if we're hit, remember that you're looking at the team that knows how to do this best. I sat down there this morning and listened to their presentation. I can't tell you how thorough this team is. And as they join our partners in every county around the state, the team is ready to go. They know what to do. We have a full staging exercise on paper. We know how to execute. And at the end of the day, you can rest assured that in North Carolina, this system works better than anywhere in the state and anywhere in the country. And we'll get through this and be fine. And with any kind of good luck, there won't be a lot of getting through to have to do. We've opened for questions from any of the team players here. Mark.
Quick round of questions, Gary.
You mentioned the fact of the earthquake kind of falls into the hurricane Bonner Bridge. Will that be inspected? And if so, is there any concern about that, since it's a key element of the evacuations?
Gary, they're going to look at all the infrastructure. I don't know the plan at this point in time, but we've had no reason to believe that any bridge along the Outer Banks has been in any way hurt. But we are, for safety and just for caution, we're going to look at the infrastructure of the state, and we should do that.
You mentioned FEMA's coming. What kind of presence can we expect, and where will they be setting up shop?
Doug, I would assume they'd be here in the CERT.
They'll be coming and setting up out at our Disaster Recovery Operations Center, which is located at Tillery Place. Coming and setting up at the Disaster Recovery Operations Center, which is located at Tillery Place. You'll have some of them will be down here with us as well, but they usually bring a pretty large crowd, so there needs to be room out at another facility to hold them all.
Pardon me, what's Tillery Place?
It's off Capitol Boulevard. If you go straight down Capitol Boulevard to where Dunkin' Donuts is and take a left, that's Tillery Place.
There's been some questions raised about the wisdom of inviting tourists down in your remarks yesterday with the storm bearing down the state. Could this put some of those out-of-towners in danger?
I don't think anybody ever locally would make a decision to put anybody in danger. In North Carolina, we're always try to be safe rather than sorry. And we've done this for years. We know how to do it. That's why the locals have chosen in Hyde County to order the evacuation of tourists from Ocracoke this morning. And tomorrow they will decide, as we get a better handle on the storm, they'll decide about the residents. And that's what's going on in Dare and Currituck County as we speak. At this point in time, until we know more about the storm, we have no reason to even be discussing evaluations along the rest of North Carolina's coast. And you've got a mighty robust coastline there. If we get a better predictor model that indicates any kind of risk for tourists or for our people, our residents, you can rest assured that we will very, very eagerly and aggressively urge them to leave the beach area. At this time, we just don't know.
Does your invitation from yesterday stand?
Obviously, we have learned over the years, quite frankly, that sometimes there are predictor models that change, and that if we do react strongly early on, several days before the storm hits North Carolina, we do some significant damage to the coastal economy. And as you look at Wilmington and Carteret County, any of those places this morning, folks who are there should feel comfortable based on the predictor models that they can stay through this week. Now, on Thursday or Friday, if something changes, the locals will go in and talk about evacuations. It's a really fine line that you have to walk when you have a elected leadership position as a county commissioner and you also perhaps own a restaurant or a hotel. You will never endanger your tourists, but you also don't want to overinflate the sense of urgency about the storm. And so let's just hang on, as we do so well in North Carolina. We've chosen to get rid of the people, to get the people out in Ocracoke. We know that's safe, and it's easy to do. But for the rest of the coast, where we have good four-lane access and egress, then we'll make those decisions as the counties ask us to do.
Okay, one more, quickie.
Coming back in April when the tornadoes swept through and caused a lot of death and damage, it took a while to get information out of the emergency management staff about preliminary reports on casualties and damage. I remember that first day, y'all refused to release any information. Can we count on some quick information as the storm is moving through this time?
This team will work as aggressively as possible to give you full transparency and complete information. Again, the tornado was totally unexpected, and I believe out of the privilege of the family, there was a real concern to be ensured that there was proper identifications and that proper notification had been happened locally. But yeah, whatever happens, you'll have complete access as soon as I have it to what the numbers are and where they're located, although we hope for no numbers.
One more, please, Governor. Your spokesperson was quoted in the Wall Street Journal as saying that funding for some of the agencies responsible for executing the plans that you want to execute have, quote here, is we've been cut to the bare bones, to be honest. Had you heard that, or were you aware of that quote?
I've talked to this team myself. No, I'm not aware of the quote. I've talked to the team myself, and I believe that we're fully operational. We have every ability in our toolbox to implement any kind of disaster recovery. Granted, we're doing more with less, as is all of state government. We've tightened our belt, and this morning my chief of staff had a conversation with one of the secretaries about the fact that to keep the 24-hour response up and running was going to be harder because of personnel, but harder is not undoable. And in North Carolina, we'll do what we want and need to do. The people of this state will be safe and secure, and this team will execute to its best, as nearly perfect as possible, with or without resources. We'll do what we have to do to keep North Carolina safe.
Thanks, Governor. And folks, we've got a hurricane kit if anybody wants to shoot video or anything.
Is emergency management up, is it 24 hours now? Or is it up
We will be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you,
And so
Jeff.
where does it stand today?
Staff is in there. We have the state emergency response team members are all part of that, but we don't have all of them in the EOC yet. They'll be there
So
tomorrow
it's up
morning.
and running today, there's not everyone there?
That's right, yeah. They'll be there tomorrow.
Right, 5 o'clock.
Yes.